Let me just check. Hey Chaz. Hey Liz. Hey Tillette. Sorry, I was looking over. I didn't even see you guys. I was checking to see if, because I'm unsure the current streaming situation. Who streams and what time, and if someone streams early in the morning. I don't wanna overstream when Paytas is streaming, you know. How are you guys? Doing well, about to hop into a ton of meetings. Oh, of course, meetings, yes. Talking Seagull Lawyer? Hello. How's it going? Talking Seagull Lawyer. What a great name. Good morning. Can't really take credit. Why was it like a Xbox Live automated name, or someone else suggested, I guess? I'll have to mute, but I'm really enjoying the updates to the races. Yeah. I think they're coming along smoothly, and I'll be done here soon, and then everybody can... Honestly, this should have been done a lot sooner. This should have been done a while ago. But I've drawn them so much, I think. I've drawn them so much that it's like I sort of put this off, I think. Because holy moly, have I drawn them a lot. Race illustrations, class illustrations, the concepts themselves. Every time that I do a 3P, party members are involved, and I paint them there, and I've drawn them so much, which is a good thing, but yeah. Hey Bjorn, we're finally drawing some dwarves. Oh yeah, dwarf time. I'm not sure if anybody has... Oh man. Oh, that's what I need to do after this. After this, I need to go do my monthly update binge of all the work that I've worked on this month. And last month. And the month before. No, I'm gonna keep it like because holy moly, if I worked on a lot. Do you have a bunch of figurines all over my studio? No, no I don't. Figurines have always been just so expensive, and I already don't have enough space. Maybe at some point. I would like to. There was a moment in time where I was like, I'm gonna get into Warhammer painting, and then I thought, I already paint enough. Maybe I shouldn't also get into that. And then I also thought, those are fucking expensive. They're just so expensive all the time. Don't get it twisted, alright? I may be painting and doing all this stuff, but I'm still poor. Maybe doing concept art forever, but I'm still fucking... Just to paint and have it around, I'd imagine, unless, you know, I find some people to actually play with, but I doubt I would. Alright, see you at work. Yeah, a lot is riding on both Monsters and Memories for me and Witherhome. And I'm sure that if you know, if things don't work out, I could always pivot, and now I have way more experience working on like stuff like this in a team, and so I could probably land something relatively good and all that stuff. But yeah, for right now, I am very well, I don't know, very? Not in the best financial state, let's say. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, well, either which way, I don't have anything. I've always ever got like books, things like that. Yeah, the problem with food is that they're just... Food's just, you know... It's perishable, it's consumable. Figurines and figures are not neither of those. Seems like a pretty good investment. Until you can't eat again. Let's see if we can get this line right. Like that. Goblin, just flipping through your portfolio at the moment. Have you ever done a version of Frog from Chrono Trigger? No, I have not. I have... Oh, here, 1 second. The only thing that's close to that is... Where are you, frogs? I need to update all this stuff. I guess this guy, but not that guy. Maybe I haven't posted him, actually. This guy's fucking awesome. I love him. Born ready. Okay. No, I had a frog or two or something. But maybe I got rid of them. They existed on here. Hold on. Probably called it Monster Chat or something like that. Monster Pixel Showcase. Both of these will have you. I don't know which one. Oh, here's the showcase. Okay. So these guys are the only like frogs I sort of have done. Here was my elves before. They were like moth inspired, and you can see a little wood elf inspired elf here. Lots of goblins. This guy is playable in a different game. This was for a commission. Well, that's the closest to a short stack goblin you'll ever see me paint. Harpy. What a killer harpy. Same with the fairy. And these were the moundlings, and as you can see, they sort of made the way into Monsters and Memories. They're distinctly different because they're not as chubby as the halflings that we have. And these guys are specifically, they've been living under hill and under dirt and everything, so their skin and hair takes on, you know, this color of soil, to the extent that they think that like they clean themselves with soil and dirt, nutrients of the earth. Then there was a bunch of different trolls and stuff like that. This was all before Monsters Memories, though the orcs, they sort of stayed pretty close to what... I love this orc too. Little cyclops, imps. Yeah, fun stuff. Let's see, where am I? And I think I have a Discord. There we go. Yeah, little Cyclops guy is pretty fun. Yeah, those are the closest that I've done to that sort of frog. I think I have one frog concept that I sort of did for, or two frog concepts that I've done for Monsters and Memories, but I don't think either of them have gotten the go-ahead yet. I was like, yes, that's our approach. Wizard? Where's my wizard? Oh, wait, hold on. Blizzard Wizard was over here, was he? He was on the website. Was that this guy? Yeah, this was a commission, I think. This guy was, or this girl was kind of fun. Or was it? It did JRPG stuff. There's this one lizard here that I really love. Where is he? There he is. Really like this lizard. Super fun. I also did some class stuff a very long time ago. Like a warlock, then a monk, wizard, rogue. And this was like an example of what they would all be: barbarian with a closed fist, monk, warlock, undead, rogue, yeah. And there was a beast master. Kind of some fun stuff, but anyway, enough of the past. We got stuff to work on. Makes me want to sticks, hand sticks, just random lizards, just to see what they do. Yeah, they're like, that's exactly it. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit tougher, I think, than the rendering this skin, the dwarves. Nope. Nope, they have not. Hey, I don't know if, Zukin, you there? I think at one point it was really funny. I threw around the idea of a Siconian. Would you be interested to see what piece? I would be interested to see what pieces you showed Sean when you applied to join the team. I honestly sent him that portfolio, and then I also showed him a lot of the game stuff that I've done. So, a lot of Witherhome. I showed him a lot of the 2D game stuff that I've done. I showed him. It was a lot of 3D projects to let him know that I can work in that sort of place, you know. But then I also showed him, what else did I show him? I showed him this. 1 second. It would have been playable race concepts. I showed him this. Hold on, this is an older version actually. I think this is the newer version. Which was, and I explained to him, and you can see here the dwarf made it almost 1-to-1, because at this point I was like exploring what it would be to just have like the most archetypal group of races for an MMO, and that's it, you know, like, so you'd have beastmen, you'd have the evil, then you'd have like the green men, then you'd have the good guys, which is like the dwarf, the gnome, you know, the human, the elf, the middle, you know, and so this was, oh yeah, and then the triad. But that was something that I posted that actually on Ashes of Creation's board, because I was a little frustrated with Ashes of Creation not having like a race for, not really having like like the breadth of races to represent all the player types that they're inevitably going to get. And I was a little frustrated with that, so I showed him that. Then I think my work was like, I don't know, maybe my work was good enough, or that's what convinced him. Yeah, you saw me working on that after I joined, because I had done the, what's it called? I'd done the line art for them, essentially. And then I eventually went and rendered them out for my own sake, because I thought that they were fucking cool. But it was essentially the same thing, same design. Or same designs. Oh, no. No. Eventually, we got to see some of the... Well, you know, there's that other art that was being... You know, like the same sort of stuff that everybody showed. Everybody was shown on the monthly updates. Like, there was concept art and stuff like that. And so I sort of assumed that was the bar. And none of that even mattered to me. There's one thing that I will say. If these questions seem to be gearing towards a certain thing, which is like getting, you know, like competition and getting in as like a concept artist, or getting in somewhere as a concept artist, that sort of thing, or like an artist. I will say, I think one of the biggest things that landed me on the team was because at that moment, I felt just frustrated that I couldn't be part of that. Like, I saw other people fumbling, you know, like on these big projects. Like, they had a certain amount of skill that they could provide when doing certain pieces of art or whatever, but they lacked, in my opinion, like a good direction and understanding of the game that they were making art for. And what should be the driving factor, you know, on all of this. You know, like, and so there was a frustration that I had that I couldn't, that like nobody would let me fix things for them. So it was less of like, please let me into the industry, and there was like a shift there, where it was less of, hey, let me into the industry, because I want to be able to make a living at what I do, and more of a shift towards, fuck, please, I just want to help you guys not fumble. You know, like, I just want to do it right because everybody else is doing it wrong. And so I had something very specific to offer, which is my take on race design and concept art in general. My approach is very different and I think a little bit novel nowadays and compared to the industry standards. So yeah, in terms of all that, that's make sure that you have something that you have a really strong art ethos. If you have a really strong art ethos that drives what you make and how you make it, and you know, and you feel passionately about that, that passion will be seen. Noted. And of course you want the skill, you know, to back that up. Like, you want to be able to paint really well, but that sort of stuff only happened to me, I guess, after, like, how much I cared about it only came to me after I was able to do a lot of the actual painting work. I don't know if that's what you wanted to sort of dive into or anything, but that's, and you've probably heard that story from me before, but it's worth mentioning because that's how I hold it pretty true to that. Have something of true value to offer that isn't just I can render things really nicely. Good direction for your concepts. An aligned art ethos. There's so many times where, like, you know, someone might do something, like paint, you know, show a portfolio or something like that, or I show a portfolio to someone, and they go, you know, like, oh, but it doesn't paint exactly how we want, and so you don't get hired, right? They're not necessarily looking to transform you. They're looking for someone that will like fit already perfectly into the way that they do things and the way that they see art and their current project. That's why a lot of artists get passed around nowadays. They jump from project to project, doing, like, you know, like, here I do mech things, and so they get hired for mech jobs. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're right. I need to post more of my VODs. I'm sorry. As someone who has to hire artists for game dev work, being able to do consistent work in a team environment alone puts you ahead of the curve. That's something that I barely had experience with, actually, was doing it within a team environment. I had projects that I had done within a team environment, like, as in, team isn't me. I was the artist, like, that's the thing. It's consistent work that I did with another developer, right? Where he was the programmer and I was the artist, and I did the art for everything. And so working with other artists has definitely been like has been growing, has had growing pains, but now we're a little bit better. But yeah, just in general, having a lot of that experience, I think helped a lot. I was thinking about you when I watched the D4 Season 2 announcement, which IMO was a big pile of yawn, but I did recognize how much someone like you had to put into it. It's a shame they worked hard and the rest of the team, and the rest didn't seem to have. Oh, the art team on Blizzard, that's what we're talking about. Season 2, Diablo 4. The art team on Blizzard, always. Not always, actually, because they have some directions problems, I think, with most recently World of Warcraft, but Blizzard artists are, they're so fucking intense. They do really good work. Alright, that's enough rendering of her fucking bicep. Blizzard has always had compelling art for me. I just can't stand Blizzard as a company anymore. I just can't get involved with their stuff now. I understand that. There's a lot of... Hey, but... You know... Metzen made his way back. Seems not too bad. Kind of promising. There was someone that I told that exact like piece of advice to, let's say. Not even advice, just I just shared my experience. It wasn't even advice. And oh man, they did not take kindly to it. Took it as like an attack on their work, and that it must mean that I don't think that they have anything of value to bring, and less of a conversation and more of like a, oh man, it was not good. They used to be at the top of my list. These days, I think they're embarrassing themselves. Yep. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I will say, I've heard Dragonflight is not bad at all. It's not great, but it's also not bad. It's perfectly respectable for what it is what I've heard. Which is a theme park MMO, which I don't like. You know, but I don't think, Kieran, I don't think you've been around long enough to hear my rant on Blizzard. Yeah, but did you see my my tier list of goblins? They're way down there. No, World of Warcraft has some really good things about it, but then also has some really not great things about it. We're quickly going to change this to reflect we have to change this part here to reflect that no, we will not be having baggy pants. And so we're gonna have to change the concept up just a little bit. As much as I really like those baggy pants for the dwarven female. I really liked WoW, but unfortunately, I just think they've fumbled too much on the fact that they're an MMO. They have some really strong things. But they have sacrificed too much for a game. They've sacrificed too much of the world, of the social experience for the game, for the mechanics of, hey, do this, do that. That means that, in my opinion, they're almost completely separate. And they've also sacrificed the best part of an MMO, in my opinion, which is the leveling process. By pushing people to level cap and forgetting about the leveling experience. Introduction to dailies was a huge mistake. You can get players to do daily things, but God, don't limit them. They're in the game. They're in the game. They're playing your game, and you're saying, well, that's about enough. Come back tomorrow, though. And you're like, wait, what? It's supposed to be like a showcase where it's supposed to help those who are diligent in the game to catch up and get things that are, but you gotta understand, it's a video game, not a fucking run a job. And people don't have all the time and everything. When they get online, they should be hanging out with their friends, not doing chores. You should be doing content with other players. And I might get a lot of flack for this, but I do not think that there is much of a place for there's a little bit of a place, but there's not much of a place, in my opinion, for players that want to play an MMO alone, surrounded by people. There are many options if you want a game like that now. Many options. EverQuest was an intense wait fest. Never played EverQuest. Blizz's idea of fun seems to be a grind. For many of us, grind is not fun, and it means to the end. Awesome, I finally caught a Goblin stream. Nicodemus, hey, it's been a while. The alone together MMO feel can be depressing still, though I'd like to be able to log in for like an hour before work and do something meaningful alone. Sure, but you can't do that at the expense of... You cannot do that and prioritize that over the expense of other players communicating and socializing. Like, if you jump in and you do something for an hour with other players, that is, in my opinion, a win. I also value social aspects. I'll tell you how much I value social engagement in an MMO. When World of Warcraft brought in LFG or LFR or LFD, right? I saw that as a huge loss, because here, if you take, let's take your screen, right? This is your screen. You're the player. Here we are. Hello. And he's an undead, because I played undead. And you have your sword, you have your helmet, and you had your chat box over here, and here is your blah 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 health. Where should most of your time be spent in an MMO? I think it should be right here and right here. And of course looking around here, but right here, this chat box. Sure, yeah, when you're engaging and your party is doing their thing and you're a healer, yeah, all the way up here, right? Then you gotta go, okay, there's my chat box, or there's their health, and I'm watching and I'm waiting, and I don't want to be healing too crazily right now. I'm gonna wait so that I am mana efficient, so I do my big heal when they're lower health, and I'll use my HOTS heal on him because he doesn't, I don't expect him to have any damage in the next little bit. Okay, you know, that's cool, that's fine. You're not spamming buttons, you're pressing the important ones, that's great. But you're looking for a party, right, to do a dungeon with. Where are your eyes? Here. I set out, I go looking for dungeon, whatever, blah blah blah, or looking for group, looking for tank, looking for whatever. Now my eyes are here. What is happening in the chat box? People's name or jokes are being thrown around. You Chuck Norris jokes, blah blah blah. I'm in the Barrens. People are talking. And your eyes are reading all of that. Sure, your eyes are reading all of that in the search and hope for, you know, a group that will join you. But if someone makes a joke and makes you laugh or gets you engaged by saying something like inaccurate or dumb, or you're lying to people about where Mancrick's wife is, or whatever it is, there's a certain amount of fun and engagement with other people in the zone right here next to you that you are engaging with, instead of, here's a box, sign up, and I never have to think about it again. Now I just have to wait till this glows. No longer do I even have to, I don't even have to have the chat box open. Like, it might as well be just, you know, my combat logs. Because look, I have this thing searching for me. So, in my estimation, when you enter in, like any sort of looking for group or whatever, you've sacrificed social engagement for, in this case, it's not even gameplay. You've sacrificed social engagement for, like, what's that word? For amenities, for access, for ease of, what's that word called that people always use when they're talking about, like, you know, convenience. Yes, convenience. You guys are right, convenience. All right, let's sorry, I totally went on a rant. Let's read. As well as the healer. It was the party health bars, yes. I agree to that. I got into online gaming through Gemstone 3, a MUD, so yeah, I like a chat box. Before LFG, my friends used to TeamSpeak and played 3 nights a week. People used LFG to do stuff earlier, and then the friend group just started. Oh, that sucks. Ben, that sucks. It's like, oh, I don't have to wait for you guys. I just get my reps in really quick. And then, oh, that sucks. There's no party to show up to. No point in having an MMO if you don't actually do people. If you don't actually do people. even though I solo most of mine, I engage with people. Blizzard design philosophy at some stage shifted from get the game out of the player's way to get the players out of the player's way. Dude, if you paint, or sorry, if you go up to a dungeon right now, there's also no community, so there's no because we all have shared servers and everything, right? The community is big enough, and sure, you have, like, you know, people from other servers that you pull in to make things more populated, but what happened is, with the servers being too big, you don't see the same names anymore, there's no server reputation anymore, and when there's no server reputation, you do whatever the fuck you want. It's like the difference between a town and a city. It's like, I actually still find it very difficult to have any sort of connection to my city. It's too big. Town? Sure, I can have, you know, some town pride. But city? No way. Especially when there's like a rivaling town. You know, that's really cool. Anyway, but you go... so the whole point of this is that they have this system now that servers don't really matter, because you'll input other people and you'll be put into like the shared server with a bunch of people so that everything looks more filled, and you'll do Dungeon Finder and you'll pull from other servers, and when you pull from other servers, it means that there's no consequences once you get back to your world. So people treat each other like complete garbage, like inhuman. If you were to type, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" or you tell a joke in like a dungeon, right? LFG dungeon. You're frowned upon because you're not doing the game fast enough. Typing it means that you're not paying full attention to the game. You're not going as quick as possible. The game has become the most important part. And when you're bad, they kick you. This is, I think, I listened to a lot of Jordan Peterson, or not Jordan Peterson, Kevin Jordan, about WoW stuff. And Kevin Jordan was like, he was all behind this stuff, this WoW theorem. Could talk about Jordan Peterson responsibility stuff as well in World of Warcraft, but I don't think that fucking translates. All right, let me catch up. Okay, so tabs are not a bad idea for those who want to filter out the noise, like socialization, but I know some serious gamers who don't. Convenience. Just curious, are you an introvert or an extrovert? I feel like, Nectros, I get exhausted when I'm around people for too long. But not so much when I'm online. You've reduced your MMO to a lobby-based multiplayer game. Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Modern MMO gaming is definitely single player, so the multiplayer draw is now limited to having a witness. People might see you looking cool to your new armor, but they won't say anything. But you can imagine that they're impressed. Totally. Now there's an optional build / gear. You don't even, and if you don't have those, you are just scum. Oh, God, it's terrible. I miss pre-Toa Doak. Toa? Toa? DAOC. Fuck, what is that? Dark Age of Camelot, yeah. Yeah, so it was... Yeah, the Kevin Jordan guy, he's legit. that guy fucks. But yeah, that's a... Hey, Goblin in chat, good morning. Good morning. There's also like a... Here's something that I sort of think should happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Okay. And it might have the adverse effect, but... EverQuest and WoW both made fast travel super easy, eliminating the cool perk of a wizard / mage / druid. Yep. I did mud / mux for years. The first graphical MMO was EverQuest, and I still occasionally play, even with Quorum. My heart's kinda not in it because it launched at the weekend, and people are more than halfway level to max. They've abused quests. They just sucked the fun out. Liz, I understand that. Those people are always going to exist. Psychopaths. I like to call them psychopaths. And I know it's a little bit degrading to call your own, player base like a psychopath, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it's just the case. I hated Pop for that. Planes of Power, I think. You were only 3 zones away from pretty much anywhere. It's a common state of being. Yeah, no, just that gamer mentality, like... I find it so funny to just call people psychopaths. Alright, even though that's not accurate, I'll allow it. I'll make her hand. We don't have, what's it called? Our arms in Monsters and Memories do not have, asymmetry. But I will allow it just this one time. I think the evolution of the internet and gaming community in general has turned the majority into min-maxers at any cost. Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes you just gotta take it all and enjoy the journey. Well, here's something I think is worthwhile. And I'm actually kind of expecting this. But hardcore has, I think, truly given those psychopaths like a balance, like as in World of Warcraft, like hardcore as in like you die permanent. I don't think World of Warcraft was the first one to do it. That might have been Diablo stuff that focused on like having a hardcore character, but I think that is probably the best way to ever balance people like that, because if they go too fast or if they make mistakes or whatever, and they're just working on a different plane of existence, where it's like I gotta go both fast, but now it's a challenge because I'm not only going fast, I need to not die. And that means you need to be careful, and that means it's like challenging. Implementing that for the psychopaths, totally. I think that's the way to go. And then they can get a lot out of it. Yeah, hardcore, the great equalizer. It is true, yeah. I played EQ since like 2000. I know half the zones I swear I've never been to. Yeah. There's this Oh, where was it? No, there. I was gonna mention something. It shouldn't affect my gameplay, but it kind of does when there's level 35s already out there, out of 50, running about, and I can't even find level 1 mobs to kill. That's rough. There's this one idea that I kind of really enjoyed, but you know how people were talking about they're talking about what's that called? Time-gated content, TLPs. TLP, time something is it a TLP? Time something content. Time locked, yeah. Time locked progression. True. There's always been people who barge their way, whereas I'm polite. Yes. So I said it as a joke, but also not really. I think it would be hilarious and also really fun if there was a level a week. No, I'm not. I'm not from Minnesota. The fuck? God damn. I'm from Canada. Sean mentioned that. So you have a cap and you can blow through it in 10 minutes, or if you know how, or spend a week doing it, and you learn to enjoy the world around you. Didn't we jokingly call that the dad server? Yes, we did. And we did call it the dad server. I'd play that server. I'd hop on that server every single goddamn week. Do you know how many, like, hilarious challenges people would be up for? They'd be, like, walking around and they're, like, level 3s or whatever, and they're like, dude, let's see that level 12 mob? Think we can do it? They're like, no, we can't. And it's like, yeah, but if we get 20 people, we might be able to do it. And they're like, 20 people, eh? Yeah, raid the level 12 fucking Ashira scout. Ashira captain. You know what I mean? Like, and like all the quests would be like something that people would, maybe they'd save, but then maybe they wouldn't. They'd be like, yeah, I get that I don't get the experience from it, but there's this really good item that I'd be able to use if I were to just be able to do this next thing. Oh man, people would... I don't know if that would be the case. Maybe people would just get their level, log off. Right? Maybe that would be the case. At that point, you make the... Oh, I don't know. It would be fun. I think it would be a really fun experiment. Because that's what it would be. It would be an experiment. There was something I was going to say, and now I totally forget. Oh god, it was a while ago though. It's going to bother me that I can't say. Also, hey, how's it going first? Before traveling. Convenient, yeah. No, I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, but if you kill that high level thing, some lucky person to get a really sweet weapon or something that's higher than what everyone else has. Oh, and that would be so sick. Of course. there would be some of those, but the lack of "you suck because you're not leveling as fast as we can" is gone. You can go places you haven't and try for loot you maybe missed out on, and ask every damn NPC if they have a quest. Yep. Oh man. It'd be content rich. That's what we would need to do, though. We need to make it content rich to be able to support a week's worth of gameplay or whatever, or maybe, you know, a day's worth of gameplay or something that isn't related to that. I'd imagine it wouldn't catch on for everybody, but you know, I would have a character on there. Balder Van Motten. Hi, it's Greg. Hi, Greg. Wait, hold on. Which Greg? Greg, is it a Greg I know? Because I know a couple Gregs. I'm all Greg. From Lyon, France. I don't think I know a Greg from Lyon, France. Well, welcome to the chat, Greg. The way you said that makes me think like it's a Greg I know, you know? Like, hi. It's Greg. Ultimately, you have people stocking up on quest turn-ins to immediately level when the next week hits. People want to do that, I guess. But then, hold on. Then you'd have to do the quest next. You know? So you level up, and then you start doing other quest stuff. But then there's wasted XP. Because there's not going to be that many quests. And so really you're just stealing yourself of time for being the first. So maybe. Anyway. Yeah, there's lots of things that you could do to sort of prevent it, but I sort of like getting into the. It's like everything would have to be like for the spirit of blank, you know, for the spirit of what's the reason that we're doing this is so that people can sort of, we don't want to force things, you know, and so it becomes like a doing a bunch of checks and balances of whether it's in the spirit and You know, like, I'd imagine that min-maxers wouldn't really be the ones to play this on this server, right? That's the whole point of having the servers, that min-maxers aren't really the ones to do it. Of course, they will be there, but that's my thought, at least. Okay, perfect. That's good. That's good. What we have here, let's get this a little bit bigger. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, let's move on to the dwarf male. Oh, after this, I just need to quickly do the hammer. I feel like I've been noodling a little bit on the dwarf female here. Oh yeah, she looks good though. Here's what I eventually, at one point, I actually looked at the dwarf female and decided to chill out her bust, but no, I think this is a much better way to go. Save my work. Alright, I think I will. Thank you. Some repeatables like bone chips. Yeah. Oh, I'll need to also do the rest of her hair eventually. Alright. Alright, let's merge these down. Alright, so the dwarf, I don't think will need that much work. Personally, I don't think he'll need that much work. Especially compared to the ogre. There was just a lot of space on the ogre that needed working, you know? We're getting into areas where it's not nearly as needed. littler spaces taken up. God, I have not touched this in so long. It's almost like there's like a cannon that I don't want to destroy, you know, cannon to it. Where it's like, this is how this dwarf looks now, and I don't want to like be the one to mess it up. It's alright, we'll just make it better. Ah, I think I remember. We have to. You'll have to. You guys will have to tell me. But has anyone shown off the current state of the game recently? Okay, well, then I will hold off. God, you guys could have just lied to me right now and got some serious leaks. Horse is not in your nature, you're a dwarf. Oh wait, hold on. Liz Kimber, I'm sorry, I thought that was Bjorn that said that. You're not a dwarf. What are you digging for the for races, Liz? What are you gonna play as? Also, we know everything. We know how much is in the game. We data mined the whole game. If you feel like leaking, you'll leak. I don't think we'll be able to convince you. I'm the guy that just tells the gas station clerk they uncharged me. Oh man. Ogre for the win. Ogres don't know to tell a lie. That's the difference. Our fans are gonna have a happy home. Oh yeah. I want this game to be more like a, I don't know, like I personally want this game to be more like a world than like a game, you know? Oh yes, I remember. Fuck. Took me forever to remember. Okay. So, I'll have to try and convince Ollie on this implementation, okay, and the rest of the team, but I think it's totally worth it. So here's the premise. Premise is that Discord and other social medias have sort of taken the place of where people got together, right? So that means like instead of meeting with your friends on RuneScape or EverQuest or whatever and having to log in there for so many people, right? You can offload that to different types of social media, whether that be a good or bad thing, whatever. Maybe I think it's a bad thing for MMOs. So the idea is that instead of trying to fight it, integrate it. And so what that means is I think that there should be a two-way communication on Discord and in server in-game chat. And so that means if you go / out a character in a zone and you type, or you type in like the zone, right? I think that you should be able to have your character connected to the Discord and have that show up in the server, and people that are not in the game should be able to talk to you. So you in the game should be able to talk to people in Discord without having to swap over to Discord, and Discord should be able to talk to you in game. Because what that would mean is I'm in game, I want to party, I do LFG, people see that I'm going LFG, I'm looking for a group, and they go, I'll hop on for a minute or two. Or they see, oh, this guy's up, and you're like, yo, this guy's up in 10 minutes, I'm on. You know, it gets people in more than it gets people out. So, but that's the key, is that it's two-way. It means that the players in the game can talk to the players out of the game, and players on their phone, they're getting groceries, see what's going on in certain zones. They can check up, and then they can go, oh, blank, I'm gonna hop on when I get home because these guys are on and I like these guys. You can see what you're missing out on and drive players back in, keeps communities connected. Sounds good. Even better if they can see a little pic of the character I'm playing at the moment, even if they're not in game, by logging into Discord. Things like that would be, I think that is and would be the fucking coolest thing. Why is they gonna love this? That's hilarious. I think games have struggled to be able to do it. Maybe they'd have a partner to have to partner too much with Discord as a company. Even if massive companies like SE have nothing is integrated, everyone just tabs over to Discord. So you could think you could also link a guild Discord into the game. Oh yeah. I've always wanted to EVE Online to add API-based trades so I didn't have to log on. Why stop there? Implementation into dating apps like Tinder. Sword. What? Hold on. Soda. 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 Had full Discord. I don't know what soda is. SOTA. Shroud of the Avatar. I've never heard of that. Never would have got it. Anyway, so I want to see if I can convince Ollie that it would be good to have two-way communication between Discord. And of course that would mean that you'd have to like authorize your Discord or whatever through us. Or I don't know if like maybe the server would just post on behalf of this, you know, like this person says blank. I don't know what the technicalities would be for that, but it would be so dope. And again, I don't know the consequences of that, but I have a feeling that it would be good instead of bad. Soda is the latest flop from Richard Garriott. A good game screwed by Lord British, the guy who made Ultima Online. Discord integration isn't overly hard. Discord has a Unity SDK if I recall. I don't know much about it though. Probably a relay bot or something. APIs do regularly change, so it would take a little bit of maintenance, but it's a really cool idea. Anyway, that's the idea. I think once you get into trades and everything, someone mentioned trades. I'd rather not get into trades, because then, you know, there's more reason for people to hop online. one server, all time zones. Holy shit. That's insane. That's fucking so crazy. Let's see. Will the concept art now that I'm doing impact the playable version? No. No, it will not. It might, in that we can try and like match this guy or whatever. But no, it's the playable guy is he's in and he's good to go. I think we matched him pretty close to what, because I did the dwarf models a while ago now. That was one of the few races that I had control over, was the dwarves. And I think they turned out really, really strong. I think they're pretty close. They're sort of, I think, as close as our system could sort of allow. Not to say that our system doesn't allow a lot of things, because it does. It's freaking incredibly robust. But, like, I just mean, like, in terms of, like, leg length and torso length and all that stuff. And cape and, like, I feel like these guys will just inherently look a little bit like, or the concept art, especially for things like this, where I can have, like, oops, you know, protrusions and stuff like that. Give a little bit more layers or whatever, but a fully decked out dwarf in Monsters and Memories right now looks really good. Do you know the plan for order implementations for the races? I'm curious / why that's decided. I figured human, ogre, and gnome were the first for SIG regulation, but after that, I don't know. Some of it has been because, like, for example, goblins only got in and halflings only got in because we were doing some areas or zones that had goblins and halflings as mobs. And so it was just easier to do the goblins and halflings mobs as player races first, and then we can just put them in. So, like, for example, the bloody nose goblins, like, they're the only reason that goblins got in as soon as they did. And same with halflings. There's some halfling stuff going on, and same sort of thing. You're right on the size comparison stuff with the ogre, and that's actually what the halfling also provided. So we looked at the smaller races, right? And the smaller races was funny because sure, we went with the gnome, but when it comes to rigging, it's actually better that we have a middle ground for the smaller races. So the halfling then gets transferred over to the dwarf, and the halfling gets transferred down. So there's minimal difference, right? Gets down to the gnomes. So it's not necessarily one big rule that we have to follow of like, here's the next thing. A lot of it is also excitement, and like there are always like some fun side effects that we want to test out. Like, for example, if we have halflings, if we have goblins, the female goblin possibly has the skinniest art, like skinniest portion, right here. Look how skinny and lanky she is. So we wanted to test that out, and she looks great in game, absolutely phenomenal. I think the walking run animation, or the run animation, or the skeleton for her on the hips could just be brought in a little bit. I think her hips are a little bit too wide on the actual game, but that's just a rigging thing, an animation thing, I think. Oh, hey, Chinny, I don't know if you've been around for the last little bit. Have you seen the new Wood Elves? I just want to double check because I don't remember you being around for the Wood Elves, the new Wood Elves. Because people are really excited about the Wood Elves. Okay, I didn't know if you had to rig for different races. I thought the plan was to make everything human, for human first, and then have a way to convert all the other races. Well, sort of. There's limitations. Alright, here. Let me just save this and we'll go back a little bit. So there's the dwarves. Here's the deep dwarves. Here's the ogres. Here's our wood elf, or sorry, wood elf, not, here's our deep elves, not wood elves. Here's our high elves, right? These are all just re-renders of the same thing. But what started this whole thing off, and the reason that I'm doing all of this extra work for re-rendering our races, is first I wanted to have, especially for like front-facing stuff, for like future promo and all that stuff, I wanted like clean, really strong, not as blocky, like put in the effort to make some really strong concept art that is rendered and finished. But it all started because I wanted to relook at the Wood Elves. I decided that the Wood Elves needed something a little less. Here, let me bring in the old Wood Elves. Oops, that's wrong. So here's the old Wood Elves, right? Let's turn off the High Elves for right now. So here's the old Wood Elves. And I thought that they looked a little bit too hippie. A little bit too, not wise enough, not serious enough. They're definitely spiritual, but they weren't formidable. And so now, here's the new take on them. So we have some elements from the doe-eyed stuff from before. We have these deeper greens. We have skin that is sinewy but not completely wood. They're more human than they are dryad. as much as I'd like, or they're more elf than they are dryad. As much as I like the dryad stuff, maybe we'll have some skin options that will like emphasize the woodness portion of it, but I thought this was the right direction. They're way more formidable looking here. I made them less lanky. They're still quite skinny, but yeah, from their ears to face shapes to body type is pretty close to the same. Still quite skinny, but yeah, I'm really excited for these guys now. Was this all the result of me talking wooden armor with you? It was a catalyst for sure. I had wanted to take a relook at some of the wood elves, but then when I started doing the what's it called? When I started doing this wooden armor, I thought to myself, oh man, I really need to just finally like tear off the band-aid, because I'd been trying to make more serious looking wood elves for a while now. And I hadn't really hit that moment. And so I changed a lot, you know, like these eyes are much less alien. They're much more serious, a little bit sinister almost, which is nice. Anyway. Oh. Followed by gnome. Well, the wooden armor turned out pretty good. Helm is even vaguely acorn-esque, but good without looking too goofy at all. That's good. That's good. The, I will say that, I think when it... Oh, oops, that's why. My brush was just way wrong. So I was painting. Now I forget what I was gonna say. So, oh, rip. You asked about others streaming. Paytas is on playing EverQuest. No big surprise. He is being Paytas the Ranger and is running Kelethin. Oh, one second. I'm gonna go check. If you guys want, you guys can go. We can raid Paytas if you. Let's see. Those look sweet, Goblin. Much stronger pose, and the armor design is really nice. They also look like they heard us walking up a mile back. Exactly. Yes. Yes, but other streaming. I mean, I love the original, but the way you explained it was perfect. They look like a good caster race, but personality seems very limited. The new wood elves seem like they can really be any class archetype, and you need to more, and you need any archetype you need, and more capable in general. Yes. Well, we can once I'm done here, because I'm gonna finish up with the dwarf. Then we'll raid Paytas. Does that sound good? That's everybody. A lot of this dwarf is just his beard, man. I love it. And the dwarves will look, you know what, I've been really praising it, but man, the dwarves look and feel really good in game. Like, I was playing with, I think I mentioned this before, but I was playing with Zukin and Ollie and Nick recently, and Zukin was hanging out as a dwarf, and it was awesome. Just felt really great. He felt like a dwarf. Sidrip, how's it going? We're on our way to dwarves. Dwarven. Here, the female dwarf has been painted. Actually, speaking of, not quite. Let me see if I can. Okay, good. I just want to lighten that a little bit up. Fixing a little bit of broken code from the dude you guys let go. Damn. Straight roasted. Nate Sade says, first time here. This looks amazing. Oh, thank you. I always be amazed by artists working. I can't freaking draw a stick figure, but when given some code, I can make it work 99% of the time. Good. I'm the exact opposite. Sorry. Jenny? You're funny. Sorry for kissing ass, but damn, you're good at this. Thank you. We could all collectively come up with different races and how they should look, but you have a way of emphasizing the uniqueness and strengths of each race, and you can put it into words so eloquently. Gotta gas me up? Please don't. And sometimes it's, you know, like, I will say, like, sometimes a lot of it is visuals first. For me, at least, I can't, like, describing something, sure, I've done some writing in the past, but fucking visuals first is the way to go. Also, do I need to shut up soon? 10 minutes? 10 o'clock, okay. I'll be out of here by 10 o'clock. The reason I glue myself to the art stream is because it completely defines the mood of the game. That's true. Yeah, I didn't quite get the emphasis on other MMOs on skipping over the art side. I don't want to like make any statements about things, but would you mind telling about the project? Nate Sade. Of course I would. Alright, okay, hold on. Can someone please in chat link monstersandmemories.com really quick? I would love if you did that. So, here, let's take a look at all the races. So, we're making an MMO, indie MMO. A small team doing a lot of this in our free time, passion project. And it is a classically inspired MMO. Think EverQuest, think Ultima Online, think social engagement, where you need others and each class fulfills certain roles. And the combat is a little bit slower, so we call it sandwich combat. So that means you can eat a sandwich while playing the game. And your decisions are important about what abilities you use and everything, but it's not, you're not playing DMC, you're not playing Devil May Cry or having, 120, actions per minute or something like that. We're a lot relaxed in that version. But it is a classically inspired MMO, so the art is very classic. And so that means our goal for the races is to represent the archetypes that we need. And so dwarven, halfling, goblins, trolls, ogres, we try and hit the archetype as quick as possible and as right as and on the nose as possible. You know, we have some races that we dive a little bit off the deep end with, but the goal here is to have a classic fantasy. We're not trying to have like any weird looking dwarves, or I mean, we sort of do, but not at the expense of these dwarves. Like, for example, we have these dwarves, which are the deep dwarves, right? But the goal here, not subvert any expectations, do what we can to provide the classic fantasy. So that means dwarfs. That means having these gnomes and halflings, goblins and trolls, ogres, hairy foot halflings, absolute must. Yep. We have deep elves. Let me hide the wood elves here, because those are the old wood elves, and we've replaced them with the new wood elves. Here. So high elves, wood elves, humans, and we might eventually... Am I back? Where was I? Modern MMOs? Shut down during the pitch. The elevator... Wait, hold on. The elevator stopping would have been, I get to pitch longer. This was like the door opened and then he was like evacuated through like some airspace or something. Alright, now we're back. So where was I? Where did it cut off? What's the last thing that I said? Something about modern MMOs? Elder gods, meaning the universe, MMOs, yes. Okay. So, at least with the race design and class design and essentially all that stuff, with races specifically, we wanted to offer all the archetypes for a certain player. And I was saying that World of Warcraft did this really well. Warhammer did this really well. Modern MMOs, not so much. Where you start to like muddy the waters with races that don't necessarily represent the archetypes. So the archetype of player, you have the explorers, you have the socializers, you have the killers, and then you have the achievers. And there's like a good and bad to all of those that you want to sort of represent. So a really good classic example of this is you need to have a race that embodies a killer. That's undead. That's undead from World of Warcraft, right? And then in Warhammer, you have lots of different ways of representing that. You have beastmen, you have greenskins or goblins, and then you have, Skaven. But then on the other side, you have to have this you have to have the breadth of all these different things. So you have to have humans that act as like a structure, like a foundation. And then you have to have dwarves, like these guys, that represent, like hardy, hard work, or like good craftsmanship, stubbornness. And then you have to have halflings, which are drawn to adventure. They're the unlikely hero. You know, you have all these archetypes that people want to play, and that's what the goal for all these races were. Oops, I have wood elves selected. Alright. So yeah, if you're looking for an MMO that's sort of more relaxed, more social, engages with other people, allows you to play the true archetype of what you want, you know, without trying to subvert anything. This will go the same thing applies with mobs. We have the same sort of like orcs and our kobolds. I need to show you guys kobolds. Where are you, the kobolds? Mr. Nate Sade. Okay, where is it? It would have been mob concepts. I'm gonna have to save this really quick. See, I saw the humans as the yeah, exactly. Let me close out these. No, I do not need to save that.